Okay.
I'm selfish. I feel like, hi, my name is Alicia James, and I can be very selfish.
Sounds like Alcoholic Anonymous.
Yeah, it's like that.
So you should explain, because I think people are going to be like,
What?
that's not very nice.
Okay, so in our marriage, my husband has always naturally been a caretaker. From the moment we became serious, you were taking care of me. And I personally never experienced that before. Not saying my mom didn't take care of me or anything, but she had some bumpy roads.
Caretaking from a mom's perspective or caretaking from a man? Had you never experienced a man taking care of you?
Oh, no. Level? Well, no. I, number one, didn't have a father in my life, a consistent father. In my previous relationships, no. I've never experienced anything like that.
Okay.
So it was very new, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I had to admit that I don't do a lot for him in the way that he does for me. That I'm very comfortable with him taking care of me. And not taking care of me financially. Can we just put that out there? Like, I'm not some broad up in here and not working, and and this man just spending money on me. That doesn't happen. Do I need to say that, please?
Well, you don't, but let's just be. So here's the reality, and this is kind of the way that I see it. I think in the beginning, I was, it was financial, it was emotional, it was all of those things. Mm-hmm. As you matured, and as our relationship matured, you began to make your own money. You began to get in a position to where now, if you wanted to do things for me, you could, but the damage had already been done. Right? Well, I'm in a position, but.
Oh my God.
Right? Let's just be real.
Because we talk about that in marriage. You can't start something in the beginning and then change. You know what I'm saying? So why you trying to switch it?
And it wasn't that
want me to do some stuff,
and it wasn't that I needed that, but it has.
You never asked for it.
Right.
You're, like I'll say many times, you're one of the most unselfish people that I freaking know. I can't even comprehend. You don't ask for much. It's hard to know sometimes what you need, and that was something that I had to express to him, and it was difficult. He doesn't realize it, and maybe he does. It was very difficult for him to tell me what he needed, because I had to straight up say, what do you need? What can I do for you? And he's just like, I mean, you know what I like. I kind of know what you like, but then maybe I don't, because you don't really just express like that. You don't ask for a lot. But once we started having the conversation and he opened up a little bit to it,
And I think that there's, I'll give you an example with my brother, okay? And I know this may not seem like it relates, but I think it does. So my brother took care of me most of my life. Like, he was like my dad, right? As I got older, I began to notice things that he needed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, when I was young and I really didn't understand, I was like, I just took. But as I got older, I started noticing things where because the role of a giver is they rarely expose what they need. They never talk about what it is that they need, right? But as you mature and as you start to see certain things, you'll begin to notice those things because now you've matured to that level. Does that make sense?
It actually makes complete sense, because that's kind of how I had to look at it. Once you kind of expressed a little bit, and I had to take a seat back and look, and was like, he never really needed to ask this whole time, because it was there. I see the areas where he struggles in a little bit of maybe, you got to get up and having your cup of coffee, or having your clothes organized and washed, having your area, your office clean, because that's where you are all the time. you're a what's the word that I'm looking for?
What?
You're a functional person.
Very functional. Very logical.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's so clear.
Right.
The things he needs. Filling up his gallon jug of water. I'm like,
basic.
I could have done this.
I'm basic though. It's
that's
very
what it is.
basic, very logical.
It's so simple.
But yeah, so, and I think something that people need to understand is just because a giver doesn't ask for it, it doesn't mean that they don't need it occasionally. Yeah. I think if you start giving too much to a giver, it'll make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be like, okay, you know, like, don't.
Yes, because
you know.
I'm trying to cook his lunch. He's like, baby, I didn't know you was going to be cooking my lunch every day. No, you can't. When?
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. So that's why I just have to just pay attention to you and follow your lead. So looking in the areas where you need me. I don't need to have some sort of structure. Oh, I'm going to cook for you every day.
Right.
PM. That's not what you need or want.
Right.
So, I mean, you're just not that guy who wants somebody up in the kitchen slaving for you and just, massaging your feet.
Right.
So I have to kind of tiptoe and make sure I'm being careful to not stand in your way and just kind of grab, if you're holding something and it falls, grab that.
Right.
Assist.
And I think that's why the love language thing was important, because it highlights what me as a giver needs. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily need you to be all kissing all of me and doing all of that. Let's just have a conversation. Let's spend some quality time together. Mm-hmm. I don't need you to cook for me every day, but what was so powerful about the love language, because I have been saying this for years, and I was struggling to articulate it, but it was like, I want you to do things for me that don't benefit you or anybody else. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, I just want you to do something just for me, right? And this was a rare, I would say in 15 years, I probably said it twice out of just frustration. And I'm like, because we do have those moments,
right,
even if you're a giver.
Like if you're a wife and you're cooking dinner,
right?
You got 3 kids.
Yeah, you're cooking for everybody.
You have to cook, and you hungry too.
But the moment that I made this coffee, probably one of the best out of all the expensive gifts that you've gotten me. Many of them were great. But the ones that I remember when it was very specific to me, my mug that I didn't drank the pitch off of, my ring that has the engraved, like those are the things that are my love language, right? So we would like to know, like, who's the giver? Like, what do you guys think about this whole giver? Are you a taker? I don't know if that's the right. I don't think you're selfish, though.
I just receive.
But I do think words are important. I know you said I'm selfish, and I don't think that's accurate.
It's not accurate.
Right.
It's not accurate anymore. But I will admittedly say there was a point where I did have to examine myself, is that I was fully aware that you were giving so much and I was giving so little, and that there was some sort of unbalance going on. Right. And I just had to be a little bit outside of myself and just really pay attention to you. And I'm going to continue on with working on my acts of service for you and just meeting you where you need me to meet you at. And no, I'm not selfish, but I do recognize that, I got to take care of my man.
Cool. So we've worked through that. So anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think.
And I hope you're watching this with your spouse, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend. Who's the giver? Tell the truth. And who's selfish? Not who's selfish. Who receives? And there's nothing wrong with receiving your blessings, honey.
Feel free to cut this part out too. But I gotta ask you. So I was watching the marriage boot camp.
Okay.
And they asked the couples who has the power in the relationship.
Ooh.
So Alicia.
What do you mean who has the power?
That's why the question was so vague, because that's why the question was so interesting.
I know who has the power. I know who has the power in our marriage. Why are you laughing?
What does it mean? What does that mean to you, though?
I have the power in regards to the dynamic in our family. And we're going to end the video. And if you want to hear more about this and want us to make a video,
Who has the power?
we will do that. Who has the power? I do. I mean, I do. Do you think that's true or not?
Y'all had to tune in to find out.